Hey folks, Jeff here at Back to Country. You know, on the homestead, we tend to do everything ourselves. We're definitely DIY. And today's no different. We're working on a little bit of techie type stuff, even though we're not really techies. We do a little bit of techie stuff. So we've been having a little bit of problem with our laptop. The memory's full. So it's got a 2 terabyte hard drive on it that's about full, and that's causing a problem when we go to create our videos because it doesn't have enough space to do what it needs to do. So we've got to fix that. And what's our solution? More storage, of course. So today we're going to be putting together a external hard drive. And mainly we're doing this to show you that it's not that hard and you can do it too. It's pretty easy actually. So the first thing, of course, that you've got to do is get a hard drive and select what type of hard drive. Because this drive is only going to be storage, we just purchased a regular old 3.5-inch computer hard drive. This one is a Seagate Barracuda Compute, I believe is what it's called, and it's 8 terabytes. So that should give us enough to remove all the stuff that's cluttering up our laptop, yet provide good backup to maintain what we want to maintain for the future. Also, because this hard drive, we're not using it for actual video creation, producing, whatever you want to call it, we didn't need something that was super fast. So that's why we went with just a standard hard drive, as opposed to these little drives that have solid state drives in them. And yes, we put these together as well, and they're just as simple. These don't even require any tools. So obviously the first thing you got to do is figure out what size hard drive you need, what kind of hard drive you need, what are you going to use it for, and that should drive your decisions. There's tons of hard drives out there. We got this one from newegg.com. They're a pretty cheap source. You can find good deals. You can also try Amazon and kind of shop around. But again, like I said, this is just going to be used for storage. So really what it came down to is price. Instead of spending a fortune for like a 16 terabyte system or a network attached storage system with multiple hard drives, we just wanted an external drive that we could back up stuff to and get it off of the laptop. And so again, this is just a standard 8 terabyte computer hard drive that you can get for a reasonable price. Then the next thing you need to do is you need to purchase an external case. This one here we found on Amazon. It's called a Nexstar HX, and the reason I chose this particular case is because it has a power supply. It has a built-in fan, so if you're going to be running it for a while and you're worried about heat, you can turn that fan on and cool it down. And yeah, that was the basics. And of course, I'm sure price was a factor as well. I don't tend to spend a fortune on any of this stuff, and the whole purpose of doing it ourselves is always to save money. So the first thing I'm going to do is just open up this computer drive, external case, whatever you want to call it. And I mean, it came apart without even doing anything. So that should mean that it's going to be pretty easy to put together. So basically what you see here is we've got a tray. This is what goes to the inside. It has the built-in fan here. And again, that's to keep the hard drive cool. And then it's got the interface here. This particular interface is a SATA 3. And if I remember correctly, SATA 3 transfer rate is like, is it 6 gigabytes per second or something like that. Although I don't know that you ever realistically get those kind of transfer rates. This one has a USB 3.0 external interface, so I figured that would work with both our laptop as well as our desktop. Pretty much anything we need to, and they supply a cord to connect that. They also provide a power supply and a stand, so you can either lay it down like this, or you could stand it up like this. Just comes down to how much space you got and what configuration you want to do. So now as far as putting it together, it's really simple. Now if you have problems with static electricity, meaning when you walk around your house, you touch things, you get shocked a lot, whatever, you should ground yourself out and make sure that you discharge any static electricity from your system before taking the hard drive out, because if you discharge static electricity to the hard drive, it is possible to cause damage to the disk. You don't want to do that. I haven't had any problems with static recently, so I'm not going out of my way to do anything. Now here's a cool thing that I just noticed in the box. It actually comes with a screwdriver even, so you don't even have to have a screwdriver to do this. They provide it, so that's pretty cool. As far as putting it together, it's pretty simple. Like I say, you got this tray. Here's the interface for the hard drive. If you look at your hard drive, you can check both ends, and on one end you'll find the interface on the hard drive itself. All you got to do is put that in the tray, slide the interface together, and that's how you attach the hard drive into the case. Now I don't see screw holes for this, so apparently you don't need to screw it in. Well, no, there's some long screws here, so maybe I ought to take a peek at the instructions and see if they say that the hard drive actually attaches or not. Some of them do, some of them don't. With the small solid state drives, they pretty much, you pop the drive inside, slide the case together, and you're done. It's that simple. With this particular one, wow, I don't see anything. Yes, it does say secure it with screws. So got this little bag of screws that they did provide. You got some long ones and some short ones. I'm guessing that the long ones are the ones that we're going to use to attach this. Oh, okay. So yeah, when I look at it from this side, you see these deep holes here, and so it looks like you're like, well, how do I put a screw in there and attach that? But when you pull the hard drive out, and I'll pop this back out to show you, and you look at it from this side, you can see there's actually tabs that come out, and there are slots in them, so the screw will hold that down. So now it makes much more sense. Normally I'm one of those guys that isn't much on reading instructions. I kind of just do it. But if all else fails, go ahead and read the instructions. Now most of these things, of course, are typically made in China, so the instructions can be lacking. but if you study them hard enough, you'll find the answer. And because those tabs are down in there, my original thought was that this would use the long screws for the hard drive, but the truth is it uses the short screws. So the long screws are probably going to go into the plastic case. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just inserting these short screws in here and screwing them in, and the screwdriver that they provided is actually magnetic, so it picks the screws up and holds onto them. It's actually a decent screwdriver, which is surprising. So we've got 4 screws to hold the hard drive in there, and it's pretty easy to see where they go because it's the only places you can actually see the threaded holes, and that's all there is to that. So we've now put the hard drive in. We basically had 4 screw holes here, here, and the same on the other side, and so that was pretty simple. The next thing we need to do is put it back into the case. And so as far as how it goes, you've got the fan there, and you've got the exhaust vent there. There's some tracks here on the sides of the box where I believe the side of this box slides into yep, and it slides right in and goes together quite simply. And then we've got 2 screw holes at the front, so those appear to be pretty obvious for the long screws. Sure enough, we dropped one in and it screwed right in, no problem. Now we're putting in the one on the other side. Again, very simple. And I don't see any other screw holes anywhere, although there were 4 screws provided. I only found 2 screw holes. I will give a quick look at the case, and I do only see 2 screws. So that's pretty much all there is to that. So the hard drive is installed in the external case, and that was extremely simple. Next thing I do, I'm gonna stand this up. So I put it into the case here. Now, as far as our interfaces on the back of the case, this is where the USB cable plugs in. Here's our power input, an on-off switch, and this is our fan on-off and speed. So it's a dial. So anytime you're running it for an extended period, actually working it, you should turn that fan on. And based on the temperature or how much heat you think's coming out of the side, that would probably determine how high you need to run it. But we're going to get this plugged in with the adapter, hook it up to the laptop, and then we'll show you basically how to get it set up and formatted. Okay, so we've got the hard drive all connected up. You got the USB cable plugs into your computer. That's a 3.0, so you should make sure that you're plugging it into a USB 3.0 slot. It will be backward compatible in other slots, it'll just be a little slower. So if you have a 3.0 slot, that's where you want to put it. And we have the power cord connected up. Next thing you see here is a power switch. So we flip on the power. We heard the computer ding a little bit, recognizing a new connection, and we hear the hard drive spinning up inside of the case. Just so you can see the fan, this little dial right here, heard the switch there to switch it on, and we'll go to high speed, and we can hear it turning there on high speed. So we'll just leave that running on high speed because we're actually going to work the hard drive a bit when we format it. And so next thing you want to do is go into your computer, and we're going to go to the search panel and type here to search. We're just going to type in manage. Now I'm sure there's other ways to get to this app. I just find this a very easy way to get to it. Right here we find computer management app. So instead of just clicking on the app, I'm going to click here where it says run as administrator. I don't know if it matters, but I'm the administrator anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. And it brings up this computer management app. So the next thing we should do is go to disk management, which is under storage. Down here on the side, either in the middle you can click on storage, or it's already there on the side, storage, disk management. So that's where we're going to click, and that's opening up the disk manager screen. And right now it says connecting to virtual disk service. Okay, it says you must initialize a disk, so that automatically came up, and it shows GPT partition style is not recognized by all previous versions of Windows. We're not going to use this with this. We're using Windows 10 here right now, and that's pretty much what we're going to run. So that's fine. You also have the choice of a master boot record. I think that's for a bootable drive. Not positive on that, but we're just going to stick with that GPT. So we'll click OK on that. And you can see down here says disk 1 unknown 7452.04 or .02 gigabytes. So that's what it recognizes from an 8 gigabyte drive. That's how it breaks it out. And it says it's unallocated space. So let's see what we got to do. New simple volume. That's what we're going to run. And then it brings up the simple volume wizard. Click next. We're allocating all of the space. So next. Assign drive letter D. I don't know that it really matters, but okay. Next. And we're going to perform a quick format. Finish. And so now the drive is formatting. And it's really that simple. Now that's a quick format. I have no idea how long it's going to take to do a quick format on a new 8 gigabyte drive, but it apparently is done. So that was super fast, and there we have it. New volume D, healthy, basic data partition. So the drive is now set up. If we open up our file explorer, we can come over to the new drive, and I can go to properties, and there we have it. It's got a little bit of used space on it just from setting it up, and then basically it says there's 7.27 terabytes of free space, but if you read that out by individual bytes, it's over 8 million bytes. So that's how we get the 8 gigabytes or whatever, 8 billion, however many it is. It's a lot. Anyway, our drive is all set up now, and we can begin to copy stuff off of our computer right onto the drive, and it'll all be stored and used just like a regular drive. So there you have it. As always, I appreciate you watching the video, and hope it helps you out to set up a drive for your computer. If so, hit that like button. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel, because as you can see, we do a little bit of everything here. And yeah, till the next time, God bless. We'll see you on the next one.